How am I able to still believe in God through my child's cancer diagnosis? I actually had a whole different video planned for this week, but something was telling me to just go ahead and make this video. So I'm going to save that video for a different week and just kind of wing this one, speak straight from my heart. This video is all over the place because it's just my raw emotions, my true thoughts, and how I feel about everything. There are days that I'm sitting at the hospital and it's not a good day. Like Lila's not having a good time. My spirits are low. But I just have this overwhelming feeling that I'm not alone. I feel wrapped in love and I don't know how to explain it, but I truly feel like God is just walking every step of this with us, and He is hurting with us, and He is there with us. There have been times through this diagnosis that I have seen Lila go through some pretty terrible procedures. I've had to pin her down while they've shoved a tube down her nose. I've had to pin her down while they rip off her dressing and she's screaming and she's sobbing and she's just saying, "Daddy, help me, save me. Mommy, help me, save me." And there's nothing I can do but hold her and just tell her I love her, and it's okay, baby, I love you, I love you. And she's probably sitting there wondering, why are my parents not helping me? They're not doing anything. They're watching me go through this torture and they're not helping me. As parents, we know that this is the best thing for Lila. We know that this is in her best interest, but she doesn't know that. She doesn't know this is in her best interest. She trusts us, but she doesn't know. She has to go through this tough treatment, and all I can do is hold her hand through it, but she still has to go through it, and it's still hard for her to go through it. That's kind of how I think about my relationship with God. I am His child. I'm going through a tough situation, and there might be times where I feel like He's just watching me go through it. He's not pulling me out of it. God, why are you not pulling me out of it? Why aren't you helping me? He's just there holding me, telling me it's going to be okay and I love you. But I don't understand why I'm going through this. But He does. He knows. It's in His hands. He knows why I'm going through this. So on the days that I start to question, is God really here with me? Why is God letting this happen? I remember that I do not have all of the answers, and I'm not supposed to have all of the answers. But just because He doesn't save me from my situation doesn't mean He doesn't love me. He doesn't get joy in watching me go through this. He doesn't get joy in watching me have misery. He's just holding my hand, telling me He loves me through it, just like I do with Lila. I truly don't know why children get cancer. I don't know why bad things happen. But I do know just because bad things happen doesn't mean God doesn't exist. Doesn't mean God isn't a loving God. So this video is going to be a process of me sharing some miracles that I have seen through our day-to-day life, even through this cancer diagnosis. So the first one goes back to the day that we found Lila's tumor. And that was the day baby William was born. And so many people will hear that I had a baby the same day my toddler was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and they will feel so sorry for me, and they will pity me, and they will empathize with me, and they'll have sympathy, and they will just be so sad that that happened for me. But honestly, it was truly the best timing ever. I am so happy that it happened when it did. Lila was always going to have cancer based on her genetics. This is just something that was in her DNA. It was going to happen. So the fact that it happened when it did, honestly, best timing ever. When I went to the hospital to have William, I was not in active labor, and they actually gave me the option to go home. That's what they kind of recommended, was you go home, walk it out, come back in an hour, maybe 2 hours. And something inside of me just said, no, you're staying, you're having this baby, which was also an option. If I was willing to, try Pitocin and have my water broke, they were like, we can admit you now. And those are things that I've never wanted to do, but something in that moment told me, like, no, stay and have this baby. And because I stayed, I did not have to witness Lila having that seizure, which sounds awful because her Mimi still witnessed it. But honestly, there has been so much trauma through this diagnosis. I have seen some horrific things that she had to go through, that just being saved, not having to see that seizure, honestly, it's just one less terror that I have in my brain. So not only was I saved from not seeing Lila have the seizure, but I was given this beautiful, wonderful baby, so full of life and happiness. And my heart was so full that day that I also got some of the most devastating news. And I don't know how I would have handled that news if I did not have my baby William there. Lila's diagnosis, ATRT, is a very serious diagnosis. It's a very scary one. It's a very aggressive cancer. Does not have great odds. And the first thing our oncologist said to us is, you have a pretty good best case scenario of the worst case scenario. Lila's tumor was in a spot where it was not affecting any part of her brain. Her brain surgery was successful, 100% of the tumor removed, and she did not have any complications from surgery. Lila did not have any cancer cells in her spine. Her cancer had not metastasized. Everything about Lila's tumor, about when we found it, about the size of it, was just a blessing that we found it when we did. You know, it's not the best situation to be in, but Lila's case is a good case. Another miracle through this treatment is how well Lila is handling the high-dose chemo. Lila's induction rounds were terrible, and I will have to get into that into a different video because it was completely awful. High-dose chemo, a lot of the times, is kids and people in general do not have good reactions to it. It is very strong. It is very hard on the body. Lila is just so happy and so full of life, and she is just running around like a normal toddler, and I soak it up every day. I enjoy every single day I have with her, being happy, all these good days that we're getting. Yes, we're going through treatment. Yes, it sucks she can't be a normal kid, but she's acting normal. Like, she's acting like herself. She's eating. She doesn't need an NG tube. She's hardly having any symptoms of the chemo, and that is a blessing. She is handling this so well, and I am so grateful. Despite the odds, she is doing good. We're all going to die someday. Death is inevitable. Just because someone lives a shorter time than someone else doesn't mean their life was any less worth living. I'm so happy to know Lila. I'm so happy she's here. Every day I have with her is a blessing. I 100% trust him and believe in him. But that doesn't mean he's going to save her. Kids die every year from cancer. No one deserves it. No child deserves to go through this. No child deserves to die. And Lila doesn't deserve it any more or any less than any other child. So I don't know if she's going to live or die. And whether she does live or die doesn't mean God isn't real, doesn't mean I didn't trust him the whole entire time. I can pray on my knees every single day for him to save her, doesn't mean that she will live. I think it's hard for people to look at our situation and to truly understand that Lila has a very strong chance of dying and being okay with that. And I don't want Lila's death to make people not believe in God. Basically, what I wanted to get at is that I see God in our everyday lives. I feel him all around us. Just because we're going through a terrible situation does not mean God isn't good, does not mean God doesn't love us. It's really hard because when a child gets cancer, a lot of people on the outside looking in will say things like, this makes me not believe in God anymore. Every time a child gets cancer, I don't believe in God anymore, is what you hear. But I'm the one living it. I'm the one that's going through it every single day. I'm the one by her bedside every day. And I see her physically going through it. I see the pain she's in. I see it all. And I still believe. I still have faith.